Hey everyone, we'd love to hear from you. What tool review would you like us to create an in-depth analysis video on? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and we will get started on making the most requested one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we upload new topic podcasts every day.
All right, so let's jump into AI image generation.
Sounds good.
Specifically DALL 3 and Leonardo AI, two tools that honestly we get asked about all the time.
Yeah, a lot of buzz around those.
So much buzz.
Yeah.
And we've got this great article that we're going to deep dive into today.
Okay.
And it really gets into like the nitty gritty,
Yeah, the nuts and bolts.
The nuts and bolts, like how are these things different and how can you pick the right one for you? Because that's really what it comes down to, right?
Right. And it is such a question of like, it's not a one-size-fits-all anymore.
Exactly.
These AI tools are getting so specific.
So specialized, yeah.
It's exciting.
It is really cool. And
Yeah.
even just glancing at this article, they have this comparison table. It's so helpful.
Yeah.
And like right away, you can see the differences in pricing, best use cases, what languages they support.
Yeah, side by side, it's really great.
Side by side, yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that really jumped out at me, and I think it's going to jump out at you too. DALL 3 is designed to actually decline requests that would copy the style of a living artist. It's like saying, nope, not doing that.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's a really interesting ethical consideration,
Yeah.
Making sure these tools are used responsibly.
Right.
Yeah, respecting artists' rights, encouraging originality.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive in first with DALL 3.
Okay.
It's the newest model from OpenAI, and this article makes it very clear this thing is obsessed with photorealism. You give it a really detailed text prompt, and boom, it spits out an image that could practically fool your eyes.
Wow.
It's like having a little digital artist right in your computer who just wants to make everything look real.
That's a great way to put it.
And the article even mentions how popular this is with professionals.
Yeah.
Because it's fast, the quality is top-notch.
Yeah.
And they give examples like advertising campaigns, product mock-ups, things where you need it to look like you actually went out and took a photograph.
You need that high level of realism.
Yes, you need it.
Yeah.
And DALL 3 is like a beast when it comes to high-resolution output, too.
It is, and it's so versatile,
Yeah.
Like you were saying, you can use it for a whole range of projects. But there is a catch.
What's the catch?
The pricing,
Go ahead.
unlike some other platforms, it's pay per image. So you are paying for each image you generate.
Gotcha.
So that can get expensive if you're using it a lot.
That's a good point. So you listening at home, think about, how often would you realistically be using this kind of tool?
Yeah.
Is pay per image something that works for you, or is that a deal breaker?
Right.
Okay, so now let's switch gears a little bit and talk about Leonardo AI.
Okay.
This one is known for being super flexible, accessible,
Yeah.
especially for like creative types.
And one of the big things that really stands out with Leonardo AI is that free tier.
Sure, the free tier.
You get daily tokens to generate images, and it doesn't cost you a thing.
That's amazing.
Huge difference compared to DA3, which has no free option at all.
Yeah.
So this makes Leonardo AI really appealing for folks who are just starting out, or folks who maybe just want to play around before committing to a paid plan.
Right, just try before you buy.
Exactly.
Okay, but then there's also this whole thing with Leonardo AI where you can actually train custom models using their API.
Right.
I know API sounds very technical.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. It's like a way for different computer programs to talk to each other.
Communicate? Yeah.
And in this case, it means you can like really fine-tune Leonardo AI to create images in a very specific style.
Yeah.
Even one that's like uniquely yours.
It really is about like taking control of the creative process.
Right.
Instead of just using the AI as is, you're teaching it to understand your specific vision.
That's so cool.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Especially for folks who are really into the technical side of things.
Yeah, if you've got the technical know-how, this could be like a total game changer.
Absolutely.
But of course, there's always a trade-off, right?
There is.
And the article does say that while Leonardo AI is super flexible, it might not reach the same level of photorealism as DEA3.
Okay.
So if you absolutely need that hyper-realistic look, it's something to keep in mind.
It's a balancing act. You're choosing between those ultra-realistic visuals with D83 or more flexibility and control with Leonardo AI.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a little head-to-head on some key things.
Okay, that's good.
So first up, image quality. The article is pretty clear. DAAE3 wins when it comes to pure photorealism.
Yeah.
But Leonardo AI still delivers good quality, and you have way more flexibility in artistic style.
It's like if you need an image that's almost indistinguishable from a real photograph, DALL3 might be your go-to.
Okay.
But if you're going for something more stylized or illustrative,
Yeah.
then Leonardo AI could be a better fit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, next up, customization. And this is where these platforms take totally different approaches.
Interesting.
So DALL3 has in-app customization. You can make like quick tweaks and adjustments right there in the interface.
Okay.
Leonardo AI, on the other hand, relies on that API we were talking about,
Oh, yeah.
which is way more powerful, but it might require some coding skills.
Yeah, so it comes down to your comfort level with technology
Right.
and the complexity of what you're trying to create.
Yeah.
If you're okay with getting into the code and really customizing things, then Leonardo AI's approach could be amazing. But if you prefer a simpler, more visual approach, DALL3's in-app customization might be more appealing.
I got it. Quick word on integrations. DALL-E3 fits nicely within the whole OpenAI ecosystem.
Makes sense since they made it.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Leonardo AI, however, is all about broad API compatibility.
Right.
So it can talk to and work with a wider range of programs.
Yeah, that's important if you're already using other tools in your workflow. If you're deep into that OpenAI world, DDA3 will probably feel very familiar. But if you need something that can connect with a bunch of different platforms, Leonardo AI's broad compatibility is a big plus.
I like it, all right. And then last but not least, customer support.
Okay.
The article mentions that both platforms have good support, but in different ways.
Interesting.
So DALL 3 has live chat, so you can get help right away, when you're stuck.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Leonardo AI uses email and has super detailed documentation.
Okay, so both approaches have their upsides.
Right.
Live chat is fantastic for immediate help, but good documentation can actually empower you to solve problems yourself and maybe even learn something new about the platform along the way.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so to bring all of this to life, the article gives us some real-world examples.
Oh, perfect.
So DALL 3 really shines when you need those professional-looking visuals like advertising campaigns, where photorealism is key.
Makes sense.
Leonardo AI, with all its flexibility, it's great for illustration, concept art.
Even social media content,
It all comes back to what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
With DALL 3, that powerhouse for visual fidelity,
Right.
Leonardo AI letting you get creative and experiment with different styles.
This has been a jam-packed part 1 exploring the core features, strengths, even a few potential drawbacks of DE3 and Leonardo AI. But hold on tight, because in part 2, we're going to get granular with these platforms, especially when it comes to pricing, and really understand what makes them tick.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome back to our deep dive into DA3 and Leonardo AI.
All right, so we've talked about the features, we've seen the differences now. Let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah.
Pricing.
Pricing, because that's often a deal breaker, right?
Absolutely. I mean, all these features are amazing, but what's it actually going to cost you to use them?
Exactly. So let's break it down starting with DALL3.
Okay.
So the article explains it's a pay per image model.
Right, so you're paying for each individual image that you generate.
Okay, so that's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, it can be good or bad depending on your needs.
Right.
It's definitely flexible, especially if you only need AI-generated images every once in a while. No subscription fees. You just pay when you use it.
I see. Okay, and then the article mentioned that the price per image can actually change based on the quality you choose.
Yeah, so there are a couple options.
Okay.
You can get standard quality images, and those are the most affordable.
Okay.
But if you need something really high-res, they have HD images.
Uh-huh.
But of course, those cost a bit more.
So the bigger you go with the resolution, the bigger the price tag.
Exactly. So if you're working on a project where you need a bunch of huge high-res images,
Right.
DALL-E 3 could start to get really pricey.
Okay, so that's something to definitely keep in mind if you're going to be a power user.
For sure, if you're generating tons of images on a regular basis, you've got to factor that into your budget.